Hello and welcome to the Engerati studio. I'm Rob Martin and I'm joined here by Rui Mano, VP Global Alliances, and Bruno Gapo, who's the Global Head of Industry Value Engineering at Choice. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you very much, Rob.
Thank you very much.
So,
Good morning.
I read that electrical utilities lose an estimated $96 billion annually from theft. But at the same time, there are increasing calls for energy and water conservation all around the world. So what do utilities do to protect that revenue and reduce the waste?
Basically, you're right. It's the last figures from World Bank says they are losing 96 billion a year. And this is increasing because a few years ago it was only 85. So this is like a disease. Some companies today, they don't think they need to do very much about that because it's not a big number in terms of percentage. But when you look at the numbers, the total numbers, we are talking about billions. And this is something that would be much better implemented if you ask for other things like increasing the quality, improving the quality of the grid, etc. So what the utilities are doing now, the utilities think about protecting and using the smart meters and things like that. It's good, but the best thing on that would be to put analytics on top of that. When you put analytics, we increase the value. And when you look at the cost of a smart meter project, we are talking about something like $250 per meter. When you look at the analytics, we are talking about $2 per meter. And one is very effective in improving the other one.
Okay. And in your recent article, you talk about techniques that utilities can use to reduce that waste and protect revenue. Tell me a bit more about those.
Yes. There are two ways to reduce losses. One of them is protecting the grid. This is good, but the problem about that is the cost is too high, and and it takes years to recover the investment. And the other way is to find what are the real people that are doing frauds, and then you fight exactly these people. They'll go there, inspect, and they'll fix the installation. And that's you need analytics to do.
Okay. And Bruno, which do you recommend?
I definitely think that analytics should be on the equation. Okay? So all the techniques that we mentioned, either with smart meters, with AMI, are useful to help utilities reduce non-technical losses. But then you need to leverage the value of the data that those devices generate.
Yeah.
Okay, and with analytics you can use artificial intelligence and other techniques to be able to extract that value that utilities have but don't recognize because they are not using the analytics.
And data across the grid is incredibly dispersed. So how do you bring that data back together?
So, okay, very nice question, Rob. The thing is that we usually what we do is that we gather the data from the corporate systems like billing systems, metering systems, GIS. We can even use public data like weather data and data that comes from the different sensors on the network, and then use that data on our platform. Combining and using artificial intelligence and a machine learning engine to be able to accurately predict potential fraudsters and providing that information to the utility to prioritize their inspections.
Okay, so tell me more about the benefits of the technologies.
So I don't know if you really want to talk about light and EPM?
Yeah, I think that just two quick examples. The first big project we did was Light. It's a big utility, more than 4.5 million customers in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, and they had a big problem about losses. We we started with them, they used to have about 600 kilowatt hour per inspection of return at that time. And in 1 year, we could double that. And after a few years, we are making 4 times more. So the return on investments and the time to pay back the solution was like months. So everything they applied to that returned in a few months. The last project we did is with EPM. EPM is a very, very large multinational company. They serve 7 Latin America countries. They have more than 20 billion customers in electricity, water and gas, and also telecom. This company is considered one of the most advanced technologically in Latin America, and they hire us to reduce their already low losses. But the problem is that the losses were increasing, slowly but increasing, and this was a big issue for them. It's a cultural and a social issue, as well as a criminal issue. It's a felony. It was increasing, and the problem is that when you allow people to do fraud and you don't do anything to contain that, it will increase. Because the example of your neighbor doing that and not being caught will serve to you and say, why I'm paying, he's not paying. I should not pay too.
Yeah.
So this is something, the example of showing that the company is seeing what's happening and is acting, and we are able to catch you guy. Don't do that. This is fundamental.
Absolutely.
So we went live 8 months ago, and we already increased more than 100%, 129% on their recovery of energy. And they are also using that information, the information about behavior, etc. They are using that to promote a cultural and social actions with their people, the communities where they do more fraud, to teach these people, first of all, that's wrong, that's unsafe, that they can cause fires, they can cause electrocution, mostly with children, because people that deal with electricity wires without having the technical competence to do that, they will do things wrong.
Absolutely.
And it will be a safety issue, mostly to children.
Yeah.
So they use that to teach them, and also to do social campaigns for them to learn how they can save energy and pay less.
Okay.
So the information we give them is very powerful also to fuel these additional actions.
I guess this must be working for utilities, because a reporter from the Northwest Group last May, which focused on non-technical losses, said that Choice was a leading vendor in pure play analytics for revenue protection. What are those solutions exactly?
So, in fact, we have a different solution from what is available on the market, and we differentiate from some of our competitors because we don't sell to the customer technology and allowing them to build a solution for themselves. We have a commercial off-the-shelf solution with all the functionality, all the intelligence, the user interface, and the utility only need to run the application and extract the value from it. With this, we can deploy faster, we can add value faster, we can provide them with a modular and flexible platform. So in one angle, this is how we differentiate from our customers, from our competitors, sorry, and this is something that we then had value as well from 3 different perspectives. The first one is based on our experience. So we are unique because we know this market. We are in the industry, in this segment for 15 years, and we deployed several projects across in multi countries, for electricity, water and gas. So we know what we are talking about. Second perspective is in terms of the platform itself. So we use artificial intelligence, we have a machine learning engine, we calculate the risk and the financial impact of eventual fraud to every single customer. And then we provide that information to the customer. Moreover, because we have the experience, we created a knowledge base. And we share the best practice and that knowledge base with the customer as well. Okay. Lastly, we are agnostic either to devices or to platforms. Okay, so we can work with any device, either being a smart meter, a conventional meter, prepaid meter, or any other sensor that is on the network. We are as well agnostic to the corporate platforms that the customer has. So regardless of the billing system that they are using, metering, GIS, whatever, we can work with all of them. Okay, so and this is, in summarizing, this is what we built, this is what we are offering to the market, and this is how we differentiate ourselves from our competitors.
Bruno, I feel that's a good place to end on then. Bruno, thank you very much. Rui, thank you for your time as well.
Thank you, Rob. It was our pleasure.
And thank you for joining us in the Engerati studio. And remember, there are more interviews and videos available on the Engerati YouTube channel. Goodbye.